All right, anyone under 21 years old now banned from buying what are being called semi-automatic assault rifles in Washington state. The voter-approved law is part of a gun safety initiative, that's what they're calling it, making Washington state's gun laws some of the strictest in the nation. But this has drawn a court challenge now from gun rights advocates, including the NRA. They say the move violates the Constitution. Here to debate, NRA TV correspondent and attorney Colion Noir and Democratic strategist Jonathan Harris. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Jonathan, you say that this is a step in the right direction.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, this is something that's been passed in several other states. There was, I think, 60 or 70 measures are passed across the country to combat gun violence. It's very important. They recognize that this is a complex issue and that this is just part of the problem. And this isn't anything that's a major change. It just basically ups the age from 18 in Washington state to 21. So it's nothing major. And as I said, it's a part of a complex solution to America's obvious issue with gun violence.
So, Colion, you heard it right there from Jonathan that this is a modest measure that he thinks is going to help people. What say you?
I disagree, actually. I think the measure is disrespectful. I think it's dangerous, and I think it's disingenuous. I think it's disrespectful in that it says to an 18 to 20-year-old that I can go to another country with a fully automatic machine gun and fight for the country, but then when I come back to my own country, I can't use an AR-15 to defend my life. It's also dangerous in that 18 to 20-year-olds already can't own handguns in Washington, and now they can't own rifles in Washington. So now they have no ability to protect their lives and their families. And I think it's disingenuous in that more than double the number of people every year die from being stabbed to death, and nearly double the number of people each year die from hands and feet. But yet, here we are talking about rifles, which account for less than 2% of gun deaths in this country.
Jonathan, answer that, because if you look at what's been happening in the UK, you crack down on guns, and we see stabbing deaths very often in the City of London, for example, right now. So respond to what you just heard.
Right. Look, there are going to be a million different ways that criminals are going to find a way to hurt somebody, injure somebody with one weapon or another. What this is specifically talking about is assault weapons, semi-automatic weapons that allow, like shootings in Las Vegas, that allow you to kill incredible amounts of people before law enforcement or anyone can stop you. That's what this is about. And I understand the correlation between a war zone and our streets, but let's not turn our streets into a war zone. That's not what this is about. People have a right to bear arms. This is not saying anybody can't own a gun. It is a very specific type of weapon, and it is to a very specific group of people. And it was a part of much larger sweeping legislation about waiting periods and things like that. It is not an assault on the Second Amendment, and that's how it tends to be painted.
Colion, you hear that argument a lot, as was just articulated, that after Parkland, after Las Vegas, this may not be something that you like, but that we have to try new things. How do you respond to that?
Well, I'm going to have to respectfully disagree, considering that now, with this new passage of this law, 18 to 20-year-olds can't own a gun, period. They already couldn't own a handgun. Now they can't own rifles. And this includes all rifles, including those as small as a 22-millimeter rifle as well, which a lot of kids grow up utilizing with their parents shooting in their backyards. So it actually strips 18 to 20-year-olds from their right to own a firearm. And so as far as the mass shootings are concerned, if we really want to get down to the real heart of this issue, we really have to start addressing and talking about what's going on in our inner cities, what's going on in places like Washington where you have a heroin epidemic. The issue isn't about firearms. I don't think we have a gun problem in this country. I think we have a suicide problem.
Yeah.
I do think we have a heroin problem in places like Washington. And I think we have a socioeconomic problem going on in places in our inner cities, which creates the conditions in which we have this.
You're not seeing mass shootings in inner cities. That's not where you're seeing them. And that's what this is intended to address. This has nothing to do with inner cities.
Jonathan,
it's about mass shootings.
And you're absolutely correct. And the one distinction that you see in a lot of the schools in the inner cities is that they have metal detectors. But when we start to have that conversation about doing that in places where we've seen these types of shootings, we don't want to even go in that direction because we never want to imagine a thought of these kids having to go through metal detectors.
Very respectful debate. We appreciate it.
Like suburban America. Real quick before you go, I want to talk about the guide I put together titled, "If I Could Carry Only One Gun." In this guide, I talk about which gun that would be and the reasons why. So be sure to click the link in this video to download your free copy today. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I'm Colion Noir, and I'm out.